Reading for Wildlife. Written and illustrated by Zella, a project by Zella and friends. An elephant for breakfast.
Chapter 25. Time in Prison. Uncle Cosmo sat on the cold, hard bench of the prison cell. It was as if a light bulb was slowly going on in his head. He had first heard the rumours about a blackbird from his secretary Doris. Now what about her uncle, Sir Reginald Ashurst? He muttered under his breath. He could have done it. He often visited his niece at the factory in the late afternoon. He had a big black car. He was friendly but formal. I found him a bit aloof with me, despite being a fairly regular visitor. I always thought he was just a doting uncle because he often arrived laden with presents for his niece. He was a very successful businessman with powerful political friends and was rumoured to own a Blackbird aeroplane. This was supposed to be a super-fast spy plane. At the time, Uncle Cosmo had thought it was only gossip. As far as he knew, no one had ever seen the plane. Now he sat and he thought about it. He strained to remember the tale and its circumstances. He also recalled that the source of gossip was Plum and Grimble, who had claimed to have flown in it. When the police guard came to give him his lunch, he said, "Ask Plum and Grimble about the blackbird, and ask them about Sir Reginald Ashurst." Plum and Grimble bragged once about flying with him in his blackbird aeroplane. No one ever saw it, and everyone suspected Plum and Grimble of telling tall stories. The police guard nodded. Uncle Cosmo sat back with his plate. It had 2 slightly stiff slices of bread on it. His glass was full of tepid milk. He thought he could improve both the stale bread and warm milk by dipping the bread into the milk. As he slowly digested his meal, he recalled the moment when Doris said, "Beware the blackbird." He had scarcely heard her. She must have been frightened. Perhaps she was scared that the phone was bugged and thought if she whispered, she might not be overheard. Maybe her uncle was in the factory. Uncle Cosmo shuddered. He suddenly recalled the moment before he fled, the moment when somebody pointed a gun at him. The man was wearing a balaclava. He did not recognize him at the time. But what else was he wearing? Was it a suit? Could it have been Sir Reginald Ashurst? But a second man had appeared. Could the 2 men have been Plum and Grimble? And why, at the very moment the masked men appeared, did his secretary give him his passport and a plane ticket?
Here is how you can help. Share the story. Adopt some animals. Visit when you can. Educate yourself. Donate to a conservation charity. To find out more about Reading for Wildlife, visit zellahunter.com or at Lady Zella Books, or follow the Reading for Wildlife YouTube channel.